The following stories and characters presented in the work are not my own. I am using them to hone my craft in acting. Please enjoy this scene from Pulp Fiction.
Action.
Hello, little man. Boy, sure heard a bunch about you. See, I was a good friend of your dad's. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell together for over 5 years. Hopefully, you'll never have to experience this yourself. But when two men are in a situation like me and your dad were, for as long as we were, you start to take on certain responsibilities of the other. Had it been me who had not made it, Major Coolidge would be talking right now to my son, Jim. But as it turns out, I'm talking to you, Butch. I got something for you. This watch was first purchased by your great-grandfather during the First World War. It was bought in a little general store in Knoxville, Tennessee, made by the first company to ever make wristwatches. See, back then, people just carried pocket watches. It was bought by Private Doughboy Orion Coolidge the day he set sail for Paris. He wore this watch every day he was in that war. When he'd done his duty, he went home to your great-grandmother, took the watch off, put it in a little coffee can, and in that can it stayed until your granddad, Dane Coolidge, was called off by his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they called it World War II. Your great-grandfather gave this to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as his old man. Dane was a Marine and he was killed along with all the other Marines in the Battle of Wake Island. Your grandfather was facing death. He knew it. None of those boys had any illusions about ever leaving that island alive. So, 3 days before the Japanese took the island, your grandfather asked a gunner on an airport transport named of Wanaki, a man he'd never met before in his life, to deliver to his infant son, who he'd never seen in the flesh, his gold watch. 3 days later, your grandfather was dead, but Wanaki kept his word. After the war was over, he paid a visit to your grandmother, delivering to his infant father his dad's gold watch. This watch was on your dad's wrist when he was shot down over Hanoi. He was captured, put in a Vietnamese prison camp. Your father knew if the gooks ever saw the watch, it'd be confiscated, taken away. He'd be damned if any slowheads were going to put their greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright. So he hid it in the one place he knew he could hide something, his ass. 5 long years, he hid this watch up his ass, then he died of dysentery. He gave me the watch, I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years, then 7 years later, I was sent home to my family, and now, little man, give this watch to you.
Okay, got it.